Have you ever walked into a room full of people, all talking very confidently, very fluently in English, and wanted to turn around and just walk out or run out of the room, feeling so scared, knowing that if you start to talk to them in English, you might make mistakes. They might laugh at you. Ever felt that way? Well, there are so many thousands of people in the world who feel that way, isn't it? Can we get away from having to speak in English? Very difficult to do in the modern world, isn't it? Because English is not just a language, it's a way of building bridges. It's a common tool that we have to build relationships with people, isn't it? And it's relationships, building the relationships that helps us to get where we want to go in life, helps us to be successful in life. So English is not just a language. I think it's a must-have, something we really need to do. But do we need to be perfect in English? I don't think so. Lots of people are speaking very confidently while not being perfect, and that's absolutely fine. I'm not perfect myself. What matters most is, are we able to communicate? Are we able to get our point across? Are we able to help the other guy understand what we are trying to say? That's all that's really important. And of course, understand what we are being told as well. Not about being perfect. Lots of times, most of the time, what holds us back from speaking English is we think in order to do this, we need to be perfect. And that's absolutely incorrect. Absolutely false. Yeah. So this video, I'm trying to show you, I'm trying to help you how to build confidence to speak in English, how to develop our vocabulary more, how to be able to carry on a conversation with someone, how to just get out there and start making it happen, start speaking English. Is this going to be useful for you? If so, then watch this right to the end. I'm Sanjeev. This is my channel, Learning with Sanjeev, and I am so happy that you are here with me to get into this really, really important subject. So what holds most people back from being able to speak in English is just one word. You know what that word is? The word is fear. There's an acronym for fear as well. False evidence appearing real. So that's fear. False evidence appearing real. We are scared of things that may not even happen. What holds most people back from speaking in English is the fear of failure. The fear that when you speak, someone may laugh at you. Even though it has never happened, or even if it has happened just a couple of times, the people who have laughed have actually been idiots, isn't it? So why do we have to worry about what others do, especially when those people are doing it out of their own insecurities, or they're doing it because they want to hit at us? And not important. If some crazy guy on the road just says something to you, you're not going to be bothered about it. So when you speak in English and someone laughs, why should we be bothered? Don't worry about it. No one is perfect. So let's get over this fear of speaking. So I'm from Sri Lanka, and you take people in Sri Lanka, lots of people are actually quite good in speaking English, but they're still really scared. Again, because of the fact that Sri Lanka was governed by other countries in the past. We were a colony of Britain, of the Netherlands, and of Portugal in the past. So we still have this type of colonial mentality. Someone who speaks English is better than us. It isn't so, not at all. But there is still this feeling. And so therefore people are scared. But you go further east, you go into countries like Malaysia, you go into countries like Thailand or even China, and you find people are talking in English, even though they're making a lot of mistakes. They're still speaking because they want to advance, they want to grow, they want to, do things better. I remember when I was working at this organization called IFS, a multinational company, a Swedish multinational into ERP software. We were sent on a training program and a conference to China, to this city called Kunming. And when we went there, so it was a really nice place, right up in the hills, by the side of a lake, yeah. So in the night after having our dinner, we just went out for a walk. We were walking down the lake. Then we suddenly saw a huge crowd of people, about 100 meters in front of us. And there's a big noise because they're all talking. Right? And we were wondering what's happened because it was about 11:30 in the night. And we were thinking, okay, is there some sort of unrest or what's the problem here? And as we got a bit closer, about 2 or 3 of the group broke away from the group and came walking fast towards us. And that made us even a little bit more nervous. What's happening here? But when they got to us, what we found is all these people are university students. And what they do in the evening is they get together to just practice speaking in English. Isn't that wonderful? Practice speaking in English. And when they saw us, they realized we are not Chinese, obviously. We may know a little bit more English than them. So they just wanted to engage us in conversation. They wanted to have a chat and just practice their language skills. So that's the enthusiasm that they have. Don't be scared to speak. I remember another story. So we went in to meet a client who were basically the HR manager of this garment factory in Sri Lanka. And when we went and spoke to her, she was also talking about this English speaking issue, the problem that people were scared to speak in English, although they knew it. They were sending off people from this company for English speaking courses, even to the British Council, but people are going for these courses but coming back still not having actually got the confidence to speak. They have learned the grammar, they know everything, but they still don't speak out at a meeting. So what's the point? And then she said, there was one meeting, and this meeting was going on, and then suddenly the leader, the manager of this group, walked into the meeting room and said, guys, this is not good enough. We have to achieve our targets. Our productivity is not enough. We need to increase our productivity. And he gave them a little bit of a stern talk and walked out. And no sooner he went away, one of the guys actually at the meeting got up and spoke to the rest of the group there and said, from tomorrow, people, we have to be hardly working, right? We have to be hardly working. We can't let our boss down. We have to be hardly working. Now, that's grammatically incorrect. We have to be hardly working means we should not work at all, or we should work very little. But that's not what he meant. What he meant was, from tomorrow we should work really hard. Although he used the wrong word there, everybody understood exactly what he meant. Because of his body language, because of his tone, because of the whole context. So don't worry about it. By the way, I'm not saying make mistakes. I'm not saying don't aspire or don't try to speak the best English possible. But while doing that, don't worry about making mistakes. If you make a mistake, so what? We are only human. As long as people still understand what we are trying to say, it's not an issue. Famous experiment done by Alfred Mehrabian, where he found that 93% of our communication is nothing to do with the words we speak. It's to do with our tone, it's to do with our body language. Only 7% of the impact of what we say is coming from the actual words that we use. So don't worry about it. Are you feeling more confident to speak in English now? If you are, just put a comment right now. Yes, this is helping me. Yes, I feel more confident. Yes, I'm going to try to do it. Yes, it doesn't matter if I make mistakes. I still want to learn. I still want to progress. I just want to get ahead. Because speaking in English is going to open doors for you. It's going to get more opportunities for you. It's going to help you get ahead in your job, in your work, especially if you work for an international company. Isn't it? Yeah, if you're working for a local company whose clients are also local, well, English is not so important. But if you have suppliers who are overseas, you have customers who are overseas, and you need to speak with them, you need to engage with them, then English is the bridge, isn't it? We need it. So I'd encourage you to write down what actually makes you scared about speaking in English. Maybe put it in the comment. I could definitely try to help you out here. Just put down what makes you nervous about speaking, what makes you scared. And if there are things that you're scared about, actually affirmations and visualizations could help you to get over that. And there are some videos in my channel which could help you with that as well. So when you talk of learning a language, what's more important? Reading and writing or listening and speaking? It's listening and speaking, isn't it? Now, when I was in school, we were actually taught a third language. Teachers tried to teach us a third language, but the approach was entirely wrong because they were trying to teach us to read and write instead of to listen and speak, which is far more important. When you go out and meet someone who's talking in another language, you need to be able to speak to him. You need to be able to understand what this person is saying. Reading and writing, I think, comes later. For example, in Sri Lanka, there are 3 main languages. There is Sinhala and Tamil, which are the 2 mother languages of the majority of the population. And then there is English, which is the second language of most people. So if your mother tongue is Sinhala, your second language will be English. If your mother tongue is Tamil, your second language would be English. So, for those whose mother tongue is Sinhala, English was always a subject which you need to learn. But then, we would also be taught Tamil as a link language, which would help us then to converse or to communicate with another part of the Sri Lankan population who doesn't understand Sinhala and who's not that great in English. But the problem here was, we were not being taught how to speak. We were not being taught how to understand if someone speaks to us. We were taught the alphabet and how to write, and it was dead boring, and no one really learned. So the wrong way to learn, the wrong way to teach. It's all about listening, understanding, being able to speak. How do you do this? I think the best is immersion, isn't it? Watch English movies, listen to English podcasts, listen to MP3s, listen to English songs. I heard about a guy in Indonesia who actually was never taught English, but speaks really good English with an American accent. How come? He's always watching American movies. So his English is pretty good and he speaks with an American accent, although he has never left his city in Indonesia, ever. But there you go. Immersion, getting right into it. That's going to help us. So a study by the University College of London in 2020 showed that listening comprehension is one of the fastest ways to boost language acquisition. So what else can we do? YouTube is a fantastic tool for this, isn't it? Listen to TED Talks. Each TED Talk is just 18 to 20 minutes. And there are multiple benefits of doing this. You're going to learn some great subject matter. You're interested in leadership, listen to TED Talks on leadership. You're interested in communication, listen to TED Talks on communication. So you're going to learn the subject matter, you're going to learn English, and you're going to learn how to make a presentation, how to speak, how to engage an audience. So many other things as well, all in one. So that's one thing we can do, isn't it? Podcasts, I'm going to suggest a list of podcasts that you can listen to in the description. Do go and have a look at that. Watch English movies, yeah. Maybe initially watch it with the subtitles on, and once you get the hang of that, after a while, try to take the subtitles off and try to see, can you still understand what is being said. One step at a time. Something else we can do. Why not set aside 1 or 2 days in the week to be English speaking days, which means on those days you only speak English with your family, with your friends, or in your workplace. And that's going to give you more practice. And you can tell each other, if I make a mistake, please correct me. If you make a mistake and I think it's wrong, let me try to correct that for you. Let's learn together. Immersion, getting in there. Of course, an even better way is go and live in an English-speaking country for at least a couple of months and be totally immersed there. Of course, the problem now is you can hardly find a totally English-speaking country because there are so many immigrants in all these countries. You go into England today, most people may not be speaking an English that you really understand, correct? So I don't know whether you can really find such a thing, but that would be great if you go and spend time with people whose native language is English and live with them. Then you're going to actually learn as well. So as I said, we'll have a list of podcasts in the description for you, things you can check out, which can help you learn English better. And also a list of YouTube channels, which you can actually go watch to help you learn English better as well. My channel is not about learning English. It's not about teaching you grammar. All I'm trying to do here is help you just change mindset, help you break some of the mental blocks that you have, which would enable you to learn English faster, to increase your confidence in speaking English. And a little later on, I'll do another video for you as well. How do we think in English? How can we improve the way we think in English? For most of us who are not English native, who are not native English language speakers, we actually think in another language, think in our mother tongue, translate that to English and then speak, which means there's a gap, isn't it? It takes longer. It's not natural. So how do we actually think in English and then be able to speak in English? That's another video that you can look out for. It's going to come out really soon. So as I said, you want to get away from the fear of speaking in English. Start small. Speak in English with your family, with your friends, good friends who are not going to laugh at you, but who are going to help you. Something else you can do is, something that I found very useful. Go buy a really simple book that you can read. One of the books that I found very helpful for me was Robin Sharma's The Greatness Guide. It's not that it's a simple book, but it's written in a very easy to read, simple way. Has some great content on how you can be successful in life as well. And that's a bonus. But for my purpose, or for the purpose of this video, it's how do we practice learning English? So what do? Go buy that book, The Greatness Guide, Robin Sharma's The Greatness Guide. Actually, it had a audio version as well, which is even more useful, right? So the good thing about this book is each chapter is just about 2 or 3 pages, which means you can easily read one chapter in one sitting. So my suggestion is read the chapter, then think about what was there. What did I understand? What did I not understand? Go back to the chapter, read it again, note down the things you didn't understand, go do a Google Translate, figure it out. What does this mean? Read it again. You're going to understand more. Maybe write a small summary of what you understood. If you want to improve your writing as well, give that summary to one of your good friends whose English is better than yours and say, could you please help me? Could you please check whether there are any mistakes or help me to correct them? Gradually, we are going to improve, isn't it? So go buy that. Robin Sharma's The Greatness Guide. You can also do this. Read the chapter in English and then listen to the audio version of that chapter. 2 things. Immersion, and we are getting the practice as well. You can then start trying to speak out what you learned in that chapter. Your understanding. Record it. Now today, recording doesn't mean you have to go to a studio. You can do it on a phone. Record it and then play it back. Listen to yourself. What is that word? Could I have pronounced it better? Then go check it again. How do I pronounce this better? Do it again. If you're keen, you're committed, you're determined to master this, it's possible. It's easy. It can be done. Something else is actually building our vocabulary. So the more words we know, the easier it is to communicate, isn't it? So there are some suggestions that you should just pick up a dictionary and memorize 5 words, new words each day. The problem with that is most of the time the words we pick up and we learn and we memorize, we don't use in conversation again, ever sometimes. So that's not going to really help us. So what I would suggest is listen to and read stuff, one that is of interest to you, two that you're going to be able to talk about on a day-to-day basis or use in conversation, or something related to your work, your job, your role, your organization, your ambitions, your aspirations. Because that's going to be important to you, right? So if you're a cricket fan, go read articles on cricket. Go listen to talks on cricket. Because that means you're going to learn new words to do with cricket, which you can then use to talk about with others who are also interested in cricket. If you're interested in leadership, go and read stuff on leadership. Listen to talks on leadership. You learn new words to do with leadership. And then you can use that when you talk to others about this subject. Or you go and listen to stuff or read stuff about your work, about your industry, which then you can use tomorrow at work with your organization, with your boss, with your team. So you're learning new words and you're getting immediate practice of using those new words. That's going to be helpful, isn't it? So can you take this challenge of learning at least 5 new words a day in the subject areas that really matter to you? You think you can? Put it in the comment. Say, why am I asking you to put things in the comment? Because when you write something down, there is much more chance of you actually doing it. And whatever we learn, if we don't put it into action, it's absolutely useless, isn't it? Whatever we learn, we have to put it into action. It's then that there's going to be a difference in our life. It's then that there will be a difference in our life. What else can we do? You could try speaking in English whenever you go out. You go to a restaurant, order the food in English. You get into a bus or a train, maybe try to speak in English. And then people might actually mistake you for a foreigner as well. Good. Practice whenever possible. Talk to your friends in English, talk to your family, order food in English. Right? You go to a cinema, buy your movie tickets, speaking in English. Yeah, try. The more you try, the better you are going to become. So Carnegie Mellon University, a study done at Carnegie Mellon University in 2021, found that daily practice of a language for just 15 minutes, that's 15 minutes a day, actually increases fluency by 40% in just 6 months. So in 6 months, you're going to be 40% better in that language, 40% by just practicing to speak for 15 minutes each day. I think that's not a big deal, right? We can definitely do that. What else can we do? Duolingo is a fantastic app that you can use to learn any language, and English as well. So there are different versions of that app for native speakers of, let's say, Thai to learn English, various things like that. But you can definitely learn English, yeah? So Duolingo is a fantastic app which you can use to learn English. I was actually using that app to try my hand at learning German at one point. But of course, you get out of practice unless you actually go to Germany and get a chance of using it. But English, everybody is speaking it. Lots of people are speaking. So you can learn, you can always have a chance to practice. That's the difference, right? So Duolingo, great app. Like that, there are other apps out there as well which you can use. Of course, there's a free version of Duolingo as well, which makes life even easier. So research done at University of South Australia in 2022 found that digital language apps accelerated language retention for adults like me and possibly like you by 20% when used daily. So that's got to be helpful as well, yeah? Something else you can do, definitely we can do that in Sri Lanka. I'm sure it's possible elsewhere as well. Now in Sri Lanka, we would get the news of a particular television channel in multiple languages. It's the same news but in multiple languages. So you could always listen to the news first in your native language, in your mother tongue, and then watch the news in English. That is, so this is what that means. Or watch it in English first and realize, okay, I didn't understand this bit and this bit and this bit. And then watch the news in your mother tongue, figure out, that's what it meant. And then maybe watch the English news again. And if you watch it on YouTube or something, you can actually keep getting to the places you want to watch faster without having to sit through the whole thing. And that's possible as well. And that's not too difficult, right? That's quite easy. Okay, so did you find this useful? Do you think you can actually get on this journey and start becoming more confident and speaking in English? If so, just put a comment there. I'll be so happy to hear from you. If you found this useful, you know what to do, right? Subscribe to the channel so you get more great content like this. Tell me how this helps you. It'll be so nice to hear from you. So the main things that we discussed here was getting over the fear of speaking English and then giving you some practical tools that you can use to actually get in there, start using, start practicing, start making mistakes, learning from them and making progress. So I'm Sanjeev. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. It's been so great having you with us. Till the next one, stay safe and stay blessed.